himself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on, so Nuoff in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani not very far apart at all here, but I just want to see how Alistair Haig deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the down pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down in towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. It's now Pike going to have a go at Werrell. Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such trouble. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot have fun. Yeah, it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching. And Burger King machines off into the grass a little bit there as they're really bunching up now.
Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
Oh, they're going to toss it. They haven't got it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such chopper. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else I've missed. Thank you so much for joining us for what is a very sad week here on the JPB Clio Cup. It is round 10 from Tsukuba, which means it's the final round of the season. But never fear. The new schedule is here. There you go. That is next season's schedule for the season 5 of the Clio Cup Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit on the 18th of March. Then we go 25th of March will be Sandown, Laguna Seca, Silverstone National, Knock Hill, Watkins Glen Cup circuit, Owen Park International, Snetterton 300, Long Beach, and then Summit Point Full there as well. So, there we go. That is the new season. The schedule, the format will stay the same. It will be 3 20-minute races with top 10 and top 15 reverse. Sign-ups are open at www.jpbroadcasting.com/league racing, and you can select the Clios there as well. The forms are out, and you will be notified probably about 10 days before the start of the season to obviously with the payment information, but get yourself involved if you really want to head over there as well. But let's bring in Mr. Sweeney into the booth. Good evening, Zach. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing really good. It's sort of a sad end, but sort of I'm eager to see it conclude, sort of thing. It's that sort of parallel, but not really parallel. The opposite of I hate to see it end because I've enjoyed every single week of the Clios, but also I cannot wait to see how we get on with its conclusion. Here at Tsukuba, of course, essentially a go-kart track, and essentially go-karts in the form of the Renault Clio. So yeah, should be a lot of fun. One more round to go.
Don't diss the Clios, dear sir, and don't diss this circuit. I love this circuit. This circuit is epic. And yes, you did. You said that it was a go-kart circuit with go-kart cars. Well, it might be.
What are you dissing go-karts for? Well, no.
It might be right, but it's just, unfortunately, you know, it doesn't sound right. You can't have a go at this circuit. This circuit is epic and one I've been looking forward to all season.
Well, yeah, I've been looking forward to it as well. I wasn't saying anything bad about it calling it a go-kart track. That's why it's good. It's because it is effectively a go-kart track. You can take 6-speed shifter carts here and you will have a good race. You can take all the way up probably to touring cars maybe. We'd just about get around here and you'd still have a good race. I know F4 raced here actually on iRacing a couple of weeks ago, which was carnage as you'd expect. But I think it's a perfect venue for the Clios. Yeah, it's tricky, it's tight, it's twisty, and yeah, a fun circuit overall that we get to enjoy 3 20-minute races on.
You know, we definitely do. We definitely do there as well. So we should be in for what is planning to be an absolute classic here as well. And I think all in all this season, really, Zach, has been it's been a success. We've obviously been up and down. There's been highs and lows. There's been drivers in, drivers out. It's kind of as it goes here when you're league racing in general. And we knew there was going to be a drop off towards the end of the season. But I think overall it's been a good season all in all.
Yeah, it has. Of course, when we started all the way back, what was it, at Alton Park to kick off this season, or in fact, actually no. It was, of course, we started at Interlagos. Of course it was.
Mm-hmm.
That was last season we went to Owen Park. Of course, it was Interlagos. Yeah, of course, because what's his name? That guy. Who's that? Oh yeah, Craig, I suppose. Obviously wasn't attending. We fought our way through the season all the way down. Of course, all the way back in December. It feels like so long ago. But yeah, it's been 10 very enjoyable weeks. Of course, we've done 27 races up until this point, 3 to go. And yeah, I mean, you'd expect people to drop off throughout the season. You know, people lose motivation if they're not winning a championship or, you know, other things. I don't know, like a life, I suppose. People have those apparently, get in the way. And sometimes you can't commit to a whole season, which is fine because it's their money. So who cares? But we've still got the loyal lot. We've still got the important lot of those still in the championship fight. There's still a lot of fun to be had. So let's bring it on.
Yeah, we've still got the championship fight here as well. Adam Dalmont, Carl Ridley, Nuke Maxwell are the top 3 in the pros at the moment. They're still scrapping it out. And we've got Team Radline and Win It or Bin It Racing in the pro team standings, only 7 points apart. In the AMs, Paul Godden, Dan Lewis and Wayne Palmer are any one of the 3 that can win this one as well. And as you can see, there was a returning name on the board there of my boy who has served his ban. He has learnt from his ban and he is back there again on the track. Sim Stickers are out in front on 895. They're looking to shoe in for the AM Championship at the moment. In the latecomers, well, we've got Rob Williams on track from the latecomers. Unfortunately, everybody else cannot make it. So if Rob wins all 3 tonight, well, he's going to in general, he should wrap up the championship, to be fair. So a nice easy drive for Rob.
Yeah, shouldn't be too difficult for him. Of course, he'll finish first and he'll finish last, remarkably, as is being the only one out there, of course, in his respective class, which, you know, I suppose he's got nothing to lose as such. He can really mix it up with everyone and, you know, take some risks. So let's see what he can bring, of course, in mixing up. Of course, we had the Arthur Thurtle, Dan Mould really getting involved over the course of the last couple of weeks at Summer Point and Okayama. They really didn't hesitate to mix it up with some of the guys. So interesting to see what Williams can do and you know, maybe going for some moves, getting involved, or maybe he's going to do the exact opposite and not take, you know, not taking risks, not get involved, just drive his own race and secure a fairly easy championship run, essentially. About halfway through qualifying already, running only 1 minute 2 lap times, which of course has opened the door for some competitive lap time for the entire field, just by 1.5 seconds so far.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the thing. We've got a short circuit of 102.274 lap times at the moment. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I can feel it now. I can just see this being one of them ones that we're going to go back to and just go, wow. That was incredible. So, yeah, it's going to be amazing, I think. And I'm really looking forward to it here as well. It has brought to an end what is a sad ending, but I think going forward we will come back bigger and better. There's going to be a new rule book installed in the Clios as well. We brought Rob Williams is coming in as admin for the Clios for next season as well. He's a friend of mine out of IRL, so I know Rob personally outside of the sim racing world. He was actually the original individual that got me into iRacing, believe it or not, and that was only purely because he was my next door neighbour, and I popped round there one day for a coffee. Not that I've got very far to walk. I had about all of 10 feet, and he was playing iRacing. And I said to him, oh, what's this? And he said, oh, it's iRacing. You can do this and this and this. And then I signed up, and then we got into a league. And then, hey, presto, I started up in the booth. So if anybody's got any issues with me and commentating, you can thank Rob Williams for that one.
Why did it all go wrong?
I don't know, to be honest, mate. It went all wrong when I volunteered to put voiceover commentary from a radical league race I was in, who was posting videos on YouTube just silent. And then I put voiceover commentary on the top. But the weirdest thing was I was commentating on myself, which was quite bizarre. I had a grotty overlay and a mic that made me sound like I was in a toilet. So there we go.
That's how we all start, though, isn't it? Really. And it's weird because it's the butterfly effect. Like, if Rob Williams hadn't moved in, or you hadn't moved in next door to him, if you weren't mates with him or whatever, if you hadn't gone around for that cup of coffee today, how different would your present be? You know, you wouldn't have the privilege of being sat next to me in the commentary booth right now. You'd be doing something else. It's crazy how one small thing can really drastically change the reality that you're in. Now you wouldn't have a new career. You wouldn't have your own company. You wouldn't be able to employ all these wonderful people that you get to put up with every day.
On a day-by-day basis, and the grief that I contend with in the middle, yeah, I can just about feel. I can wonder where my life would have turned out if I wasn't doing this. To be fair, I'd probably been still at the school because I was at the school anyway. So yeah, I probably still would have been there. To be fair, but hey, look. Things like that is the way it moves, and it's your own fate is destined by what you do, and that's how we've ended up here where we are. We've got about 2.5 minutes left of quali, and at the moment it's Luke Maxwell sitting out on the pole position with Adam Dalmont and John McCutchinson. That's going to give them two guys a good old boost in the Pro Team Championship as well on 752 points. So let's see what happens as these go on here as well and into this evening, and see what happens again. I don't know, I've been stoked for this one. I know I've said it, but I have been stoked for Tsukuba. I absolutely love this one here as well. I wouldn't call it a privilege being stuck next to Zach, says Phil.
You know what? That's just rude. You know what? I lost my job today, Phil.
You didn't lose your job, you resigned. What do you mean potato tomato? Like, it is what it is. You resigned. It's not our fault.
I lost my job.
Did you did you actually get the sack, or did you resign?
Well, we didn't.
Which one was it?
We don't talk about that one. We don't go that far.
So in other words, Zach Sweeney resigned and he's just completed his 30 days notice period, and now he is at home being nothing more than a pest to me, asking me if there's continuing commentating work during the day as well. Is that right?
You want me to do more for you?
Hey, I'm not the one with all the time, am I? Because by the sounds of it, you're the one who's got a lot of time on your hands.
No, I'm going to spend most of it asleep now. I'm going to turn into Sleeping Beauty for the next, at the very least, couple of weeks. And
Sleeping Beauty.
And hope my insurance doesn't send me bankrupt. So yeah, we'll find out. Exciting times on the horizon.
Oh, well, there we go. Zach Sweeney embarking on a new career of being a house son. So let's see how that one pans out for him on that one. Well, you ignored me on your last section, he said.
Huh?
I don't know. I can't answer that one.
Answer that one either.
No idea. But
it doesn't take much to confuse us, but...
No, I know. I think that's the thing. We're quite easily confused, aren't we, between the two of us when it comes to things in YouTube chat that we don't physically understand. So... there we go. It is what it is as we've come to the end of qualifying here for the final round of the JPB Clio Cup. Luke Maxwell is on pole with Adam Dalman and John McCutchinson. Then we've got Wayne Palmer, John Bailiff, Carl Jacklett, Carl Ridley, Dan Lewis, Paul Godden, Rob Williams, Edward Parfitt, Chris Dixon and Charles Kellerman. 13 cars on the racetrack here this evening as well. Well, you ignored me on your last stream, so I don't know what that was and who you were streaming with, but what happened? Why did you ignore Phil?
I don't know. I can't remember. What was the last stream? Last stream I was on was touring cars.
Oh.
He wasn't on touring cars.
Okay.
Not my problem.
Oh, all right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough then. Right. Let's get this up and running. Lights are on the way. Looks like John McCutchinson's missed the start there, unfortunately, as well. So that's never good. And now we're going to be up and running for Heat 1 here. John McCutchinson looks like he's going to start from the pits, and it is Luke Maxwell who's got the run right at the beginning. He's going to take the lead into turn 1. He blocks off Adam Dalman. John Bailiff with Wayne Palmer and Carl Jacklett. Bailiff and Palmer going side by side. That never normally works through this section, and I've seen it multiple times go wrong. Palmer's going to have the inside go now. Bailiff's going to have the inside for the hairpin. Once more, he goes in a little bit deep. Carl Jacklett sends out the inside and takes two of them right at the start there, Zach.
Yeah, very chaotic start, but up and running here at Tsukuba. Luke Maxwell, Adam Dalmont able to get away well. Carl Jacklett moving up really nicely. They run their way in towards probably the one of the best overtaking opportunities, if not maybe one of the only overtaking opportunities here at Tsukuba into this hairpin, side by side, just in behind. I think you've got Ridley versus Palmer. They exit that fight for the top 5. Of course, Palmer leading the way in the AMs, wants to get as best a start as possible because you've got Dan Lewis right there waiting in the wings, waiting to capitalise.
He is at the moment as well. Edward Parfitt's climbing all over Rob Williams. I know Rob coming into this evening, the first words when I spoken to him on the phone was, I need to go practice, I want to beat your son. So, and at the moment, Edward has just gone past in there as well. It's good to see Chris Dixon back on the race circuit once more as they're battling it out here. Wayne Palmer leading the AMs. He's got Dan Lewis right behind him as well. Don't forget that is obviously for the championship. Dan Lewis, Wayne Palmer and Paul Godden are not very far apart. So this is going to be very, very interesting to see how this one turns out at the moment. But yeah, still great battling happening throughout the field. Adam Dalmont dropping back a little bit. Carl Jacklett looks like he's on a Sunday drive here as he's got gaps in front and behind. John Bailiff and Carl Ridley. Where is John McCutcheon? He's all the way up into 9th at the moment already, and he started from the pit lane. He's flying as a Scotsman.
He really is. And of course, aside from the pit lane, you don't lose too much time relative of course to the pack, but still a disadvantage, and he's still been able to move his way forward. So great start of course for the Team Redline driver, who's actually been on a really good run of form recently. Didn't he win race 3 or race 2 last time out at Summit Point? Definitely a strong contender, really making some good strides forward over the last couple of weeks. Maxwell with the fast slap of the race, trying to stretch an advantage ahead of Adam Dalmont, and Maxwell still searching for that maiden race 1 victory that he's been searching for, craving, deserving all season long. Today the day.
He's been so close a couple of times, didn't he? And I think he ran out of fuel, was it, the last time out as well, wasn't it? And it's been very tough for Luke Maxwell, but I think overall he's going to go and do a stellar job. He's already signed up for next season, believe it or not, as well, because the sign-ups are open. You can get yourself involved with that one. So there will be the likes of Luke Maxwell, John McCutcheon on there as well. So it's going to be very, very exciting, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how this one battles out, how this one goes, and whether or not these guys are going to be able to get through this next season. Great calendar we got going up as well, and a new admin in Mr. Williams coming in place.
Very much so. So exciting prospects, of course, on the horizon. And I did look at it. My first initial thought when I saw that calendar was like, nice. Not bad. You just have to appreciate it. Like, it is a good calendar. Nice, well-rounded. Snetterton on it, can't complain. Really good, strong calendar, and really looking forward to, well, hopefully, commentate. I assume I'm back for next season. I don't know if James is looking to replace me. Let's see what's happened to Rob Williams, and he's been tagged round by McCutcheon, I think.
That was McCutcheon. Yeah,
Not being funny, that gap is always closing.
Yeah, I don't know if he should have had his nose right there, though, I've got to be honest, as we go on to the roof of John Bailiff as he starts going up now, trying to close down on Carl Ridley. Wayne Palmer's not too far back from this battle as well, is Wayne Palmer. He's sitting there in his sim stickers machine, doing a great job again, as always, leading the pros at the AMs, I should say. No, he's in 3rd at the moment with Paul Godden, behind him, and Godden is sitting 3rd in the championship. So we've got Godden, Lewis and Palmer there as well, with the 3 main protagonists in the championship at the moment once again. So we're looking forward to seeing how this one pans out on Thursday's stream, says Phil.
Oh yeah, the TSRC. I was looking on their YouTube stream as opposed to this one mainly because that's where Andrew Pike was, and he loves giving us some good old grief in the YouTube chat to harass me and Kelsey as best he possibly can. So that's where the attention was lying. So I do apologise to missing you, Phil. I probably will do it again. So I won't promise that I won't, because chances are I probably will. John Bailiff, though, in 5th. Still got, of course, Wayne Palmer behind him, who's still trying to keep Dan Lewis at bay, who, to be fair, has stayed there, still tracking along, still with him, as we're about 25% of the way through this race. Bailiff, though, dropping off the back of the next nearest pro, of course, of Carl Ridley, and falling into the clutches of Palmer and Lewis, and also potentially looking very daunting 2 cars back is Scotsman himself. So Bailiff, good he could drop down to 6th in class.
Well, that's going to find out, isn't it, really? We will find out as the race goes on. We've got 15 minutes to go. These guys still turning some great laps here. Palmer now trying to go round Bailiff. Bailiff's holding it inside. He's gone in a little bit deep again. That's twice in a row that we've seen anyway. And Palmer says, thank you very much. I will have some of that. What about John McCutcheon? He's behind the JPB Racing of Dan Lewis. And we can see once more Edwards in the background there with Chris Dixon battling it out here again. So still some great action, little pockets of action taking place. Can Bailiff clear Palmer? Can McCutcheon get past Lewis? How far can McCutcheon get? Because he needs to get past Bailiff in the team standings in that Prozac.
Yeah, he does. So he needs to be making some moves, needs to be moving his way past as soon as possible, because 20 minutes isn't the longest amount of time. Probably looking at about, I'd say we're probably going to get 20 laps here at Tsukuba. In fact, actually, it's going to be quite close, because of course 20 times 3 anyway. Here's the move. McCutcheon to the inside of Lewis going into turn number 1. Of course, Lewis tries to go the long way round, gets sort of discouraged by the Scotsman, who opens the steering and takes the line up into 7th place overall with direct eyesight, of course, of Bailiff, who's only 0.8 of a second ahead as we approach, of course, the halfway point of this race. So McCutcheon definitely on a mission today.
Oh, Dan Lewis on a mission to go and see what the side of the circuit looks like there, unfortunately, behind him, as these guys are starting to settle down into positions. Paul Godden trying to close up on Dan Lewis as well. Luke Maxwell's near enough opened up a second to Adam Dalmont out in front here, and is doing a great job once again, succeedingly staying out front. But can he succeedingly get this car to an end, as Carl Ridley is chasing down slowly on Carl Jacklett on lap 7. We've still got 13 minutes of race 1 to go. Don't forget, we've got 2 more 20 minutes at the moment as well. Top 10 reverse for Edward Parfitt, currently sitting on pole position, and then there'll be a full race reverse in race 2. So we'll see how that one, in race 3, sorry. So we'll see how that one pans out here as well. But at the moment, Ridley is making strides. McCutcheon's making strides, because there is John Bailiff right in front of us.
He is running his way through the sweeping section before you get yourself towards the second braking zone of the lap. Then you run your way through the winding, through this right hand, of course, missing the chicane that some people do tend to use, but of course just keeping it nice and flat out all the way to the hairpin. You've got to keep it nice and tucked in to, of course, the left-hand side as much as you can, and make sure that you get the exit, because this is probably one of the most important corners on the circuit itself. Riding backwards with Bailiff, who really hasn't had the strongest of paces today, has, of course, got a man, of course, with one of the best paces. I mean, only 0.2 off Luke Maxwell on that previous lap time, who I think is a little bit out of reach for pretty much everyone. I mean, then again, Adam Dalmont is matching him, but in terms of being third best today, not bad at all for McCutcheon. There's still plenty to come over the course of race 2 and 3.
Yeah, we're breaking near enough into that 10-minute mark as well. McCutcheon with a big old lock-up. You saw his rear left, just literally flat smoke coming out the back of it as well, as they're heading down through the Essex section, turn 2, 3, and now they're coming into turn 4. We go out till they go to the very fast right-hander of turn 5 and 6 and 7, and then into that difficult hairpin at turn 8 as well. I love this section of this circuit. Once you come out of turn 5, you are literally just rip-roaring it down to this hairpin, and it just feels amazing. I know people don't like it. I know people say it's really short and really small, but at the end of the day, I still think that it's up there with one of my most favourite circuits.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it on my top 10.
Rude.
But I can see the appeal. I'm not saying necessarily. I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's a bad track. It is a good track. I wouldn't rate it as high as some classics like Silverstone or Snetterton or tracks like that as such. But I can see the appeal for it. It's fun in its own niche. Like, you wouldn't take everything here. You can take everything to Silverstone or whatever.
Yeah,
you
but
have
they're
a very
just boring.
limited cohort.
They're just boring. They're continual tracks that we've seen so much of in the commentating world, that there's so many other different circuits that don't get used. Like, we're going to Silverstone National for next season here for the Clios. There's so many different layouts, and you're sick of hearing Spa, Sebring, Silverstone, and they're the three that are continually showing up. And I think that's probably why I've kind of switched over to sort of NASCAR as such, because it's, you know, I'm trying to broaden my horizons and do something else, because I'm just sick of driving Sebring or Long Beach or Silverstone or Spa, and it's just like, same thing again and again. But McCutcheon and Bailiff battling out around the first corner here. McCutcheon's going to demand room on that inside line. The question will be, will Bailiff give it? McCutcheon gives Bailiff a wide line going into the hairpin at turn 4. Is he going to be able to tuck it up here as well? It looks like McCutcheon should have to run out once more as they go into 5. Bailiff's not giving up, mind you. He's still going side by side here. These guys still battling it out. The respect given, McCutcheon does get it. But that brief little moment there as well, there was some great respectful racing.
Yeah, as we've come to expect with the Clios, McCutcheon then through into 6th, and Bailiff really dropping backwards now into 6th in class. Of course, Palmer leading the way quite substantially in the AMS, up there 5th overall, closing in fact, on Carl Ridley. In fact, on that previous lap time was just under a 1/10 of a second quicker than the Aussie. So, of course, Palmer running really, really nicely, and again, still plenty to come over the course of 2 and 3. At the moment, it's going to be Edward Parfitt on his return, taken to the top step of the starting grid of race number 2, and of course it's essentially a full reverse grid for race 3, as it's usually top 15 today. Of course, only 13 drivers are here, so everyone gets to benefit, I assume, provided they finish.
Yes. I presume you would be right, dear sir.
I'm good
So,
like that.
I know you're such a superstar. You actually know what you're talking about, which is absolutely amazing. It makes my job a hell of a lot easier. But one job that isn't getting easier is for Carl Ridley, because he has got Wayne Palmer closing up on him here. McCutcheon's got Bailiff just in the background there. And behind Bailiff is Dan Lewis. He's coming into effect once more here. So there's some great racing taking place. And now you see with Palmer and Ridley battling it out here as well. Forgot to ask James, how did you do in your first NASCAR race? Not able to watch it as I was ill. Which one was that? Which one did I do? I did the Daytona 500, did I? Yeah, didn't go too well for me, Phil. Unfortunately, people don't seem to know the terminology of hold your brakes or remotely slow down for a yellow flag, because a yellow flag was thrown and a guy decided to terminate my life in 5th gear, and not even stop and slow down for the yellow that was already out, mind you, at that point. So very stressful 500 for me. Not an ideal scenario, but onwards and upwards we go, as we got the hosted truck session tomorrow night as well, because we will be switching over at the end of the NASCAR Super Series. We will be going over to the Craftsman trucks for a 13 race calendar spread across 26 weeks, every 2 weeks, of course. That will run alongside the 100% series we've got coming up in May as well. So a lot more action still to come, different series as well. Trucks, Zach, have you driven a truck before?
As in the jumpy trucks or the AC trucks? Or do you mean like NASCAR?
NASCAR trucks, yeah, Tundra.
Oh, no, I've not driven any. The experience of ovals that I've got is the rookie stock car. But no, I've not touched it.
Okay, well, we got trucks tomorrow night as well. We're going to open up a hosted session in the hosted there as well. So if you've got a truck and you want to come along and have some fun, I will try and broadcast my POV, because I will be looking at taking part in it there, as we've got Biggles and Alex Goldschmidt on the UK Sim Racers for tomorrow night. That's their final round as well, if I'm not mistaken. I think. Yes, it is, because it's week 13 next week, so it's the final round for the UK Sim Racers as well. Ivy, how excited are we all that Edward is finally back and crushing it? Well, he's back. I wouldn't say he's crushing it. I think his 2-week break has done him some good there, and hopefully learned from the fact that he cannot just go and make a mistake like he did last time. I'm sure he's learned from it. Ivy is Edward's partner, and she's in YouTube chat, of course, supporting her band, y'all, once more.
She's good, isn't she?
Yeah, because my wife would never sit at home and watch me race. Ever.
What?
No. Just no. My wife just lets me get on with it, and she just goes and watches Grey's Anatomy or whatever it is. Joseph Emmett Racing, hey buddy, how are you here? As we got Carl Ridley, Wayne Palmer, John McCutcheon battling it out now. Into the last 5 minutes we go. So let's see what happens again. Is McCutcheon going to be able to clear Palmer? Is he going to be able to get hold of Ridley before the final 5 minutes, Zach?
Well, let's find out. Only time will tell. Bit of a lock-up, of course, as they all push the limits. I've been told that is literally just the tyre scraping as opposed to it, actually locking up. So it just goes to show how hard each of these drivers are pushing. McCutcheon has made the most of all the opportunities that have come his way, not really been too hesitant at all. And right now, if he gets past Palmer, he's got a chance at 4th in class. But 4 minutes left to go. I presume that's going to be 4 laps left in this race. And, well, we seem to have an extra sign-up coming in for next season. And let's see if he's going to get any closer, well, if he's able to get any close to John McCutcheon, of course, over the course of next season, because he's fighting his way through, gets past Wayne Palmer, has got eyes on Carl Ridley. So, Joseph Emmett, if you want to get yourself involved, mate, well, you're going to have to... well, definitely prove yourself against what is a very tough pecking order. Yeah,
they are here as well. Yes, there is still spaces, buddy. We've only just opened up sign-up, so get yourself involved as well. It's just a sign-up form for now. You will be contacted about 2 weeks before the season, which doesn't give us a lot of time, but I think it's beginning of March there as well, and you can head to there, and that will take you straight to the Clio Championship, where you fill out a form and then you'll be contacted about payment after. Of course, you've got broadcasting, there'll be trophies next season, steward in, there's a whole lot of changes coming in for next season as well, so stick around and get yourself involved there, buddy, as we're off to some great circuits next season as well. We'll pop that calendar up again at the end of this race, but I'm really fearful for Carl Ridley here. John McCutcheon looks like he is flying, and it looks like it's not going to be long before he's got past Carl Ridley.
I think it is only a matter of time, but there isn't much of it left to go in this race. So let's see if he's able to get any closer and launch an opportunity, because, yeah, I mean, he has been very aggressive, very punchy, and there's space. McCutcheon is probably going to be the one to fill it. 17.5 minutes completed of race number 1, only 2.5 to go. So I believe we are just going to be able to scrape 2 at the line. Be basically entirely dependent on when Luke Maxwell crosses the line as to whether or not we get 2 or 3. McCutcheon, though, driving a little bit cleaner than Ridley through that hairpin. There is Adam Delmont dropping off quite significantly off the back of Luke Maxwell with a huge snap and a huge wobble of oversteer through that final corner. He crossed the line with just under 2 minutes left to go, so we are going to get 2 more laps. The penultimate lap of this race then starting here. Maxwell leads. Here's the fight, though. Ridley, McCutcheon and Palmer. Yeah,
I think it's all going to be what McCutcheon is going to do. Ridley, you've left the door wide open there, sir. If that... Yeesh! Nearly ended up with him there as well, but Carl Ridley did manage to hold on. McCutcheon managed to stop the car as well. The Scotsman as well going down through turn 4 now. This, oh man, I am just in love with this circuit. It's great. Now through the right-hander of 5, under the Dunlop Bridge they go, taking a bit of the curve, 4 flat now, up through to 4th gear. Now the left-hander coming down into the hairpin. Is he going to be able to send it out the inside? He's looking. Yes. Ridley was very early on the brakes there, Zach.
Yeah, very much so. And McCutcheon definitely had to slam onto the anchors, essentially just probably cramp up his left leg as to not go straight into the back of the Aussie. Eyeing up the move into the final corner, but, well, that is definitely a stupid one to go for. Crossing the line with a minute to go, then Luke Maxwell will start the final lap of race number 1. And McCutcheon is looking to get himself inside the top 4 if he can, but of course Ridley not going to make it easy for him. There is space, but really deterring the move from the Scotsman, who's flying up really nicely and trying to put some pressure on, but well, time running out.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it looks like Ridley might be parking it on the apex a little bit just to slow McCutcheon, try and bring Palmer into it. They've got about 30 seconds here. This is going to be really close, but they're going to hit this one or the final lap. We didn't unfortunately see Barney last time out as well, but McCutcheon now coming through the S's of 6 and 7 into turn 8 here. Onto the brakes it goes. Ridley holding the inside, driving into a puff of smoke. That's coming from Carl Jacklett, who's just driving around all on his own. Now, how is Maxwell? Is this going to be? I think it is going to be the final. It's going to be all done and dusted. Luke Maxwell's going to take the win. He's going to take the overall victory in race 1. He does an absolute stellar job What's happening with Ridley? What's happening with McCutcheon? They're going to be side by side. Oh, Ridley got a hip check from the Scotsman. Classic there as well. I love John McCutcheon. Just opens it up in the last corner. Just give Ridley a little hip check there and say, no, 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 this one's mine.
Very much so. And yeah, I mean, we love it when it's aggressive and fair between everyone. But yeah, McCutcheon definitely not a stranger to getting his hands dirty. Ridley, of course, still consolidating a 5th place in class, albeit second to last essentially, ahead of John Bailiff, who in the end finishes 7th overall and 6th in class. But Maxwell finally able to get that race 1 victory.
I wondered how long that was going to take for you to get that up there, sir. So a great race from these guys. As you can see, Maxwell is your winner with Adam Dalmont, Carl Jacklett in 3rd. And then we've got John McCutcheon and Carl Ridley. Wayne Palmer takes the victory in the AMS with Lewis and Godden not far behind that, separated by John Bailiff, Edward Parfitt, Chris Dixon, Rob Williams and Charles Kellerman, who did not make the start here as well. So great action to come. Top 10 reverse. That puts Edward Parfitt on pole position here. How's he going to handle this? I love this comment. To me, he's always crushing it since I have zero idea what's going on most of the time. Well, there you go. That just about sums it up there. That was from Ivy, Edward's other half. Yeah, incredible.
At least she's there. She's supporting. She's the cheery cheerleader on the sidelines, giving him some support and obviously getting her father-in-law, you know, a burger and a Diet Coke to enjoy.
No, because unfortunately she could turn around and say the father-in-law didn't buy her a burger and Diet Coke earlier because I got McDonald's.
You didn't.
And no.
So stingy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I apologise for that one. So there we go. But that's because they normally sort their own dinner out. You know what I mean? I don't. And then I said I was going to pop down to the Golden Arches, and they didn't say anything. But here's the grid for race 2. Edward Parfitt on pole with Paul Godden, Dan Lewis, your 1, 2, 3. Bailiff, Palmer, Ridley, McCutcheon, Jacklett, Dalmont, Maxwell, and then we've got Dixon, Williams there as well. I don't think we're going to have any Charles Kellerman, but yeah. So but they didn't say. I said I was going down to the wonderful Golden Arches, and none of them said that they want anything. So there you go. What am I supposed to do?
Well, read minds. What do you think? Like,
they're not my wife,
who doesn't
bro.
want something from McDonald's? No. Who doesn't want anything from McDonald's?
Well, they didn't.
Even if you're not hungry, you still get something. Even if it's just a cheeseburger or a double cheeseburger or whatever.
No, they didn't. So there you go. Joseph, I've seen your form come through. Well done to you, dear sir. Joseph Emmett there, signed up for next season for the Clios. Don't forget to get yourself involved. We will bring the schedule up for you once more here. We start on the 18th of March at Brands Hatch GP Circuit. Then the 25th of March, we go to Sandown, Laguna Seca on the 1st of April, then Silverstone National on the 8th of April. Then on the 15th, it's Knock Hill, then Watkins Glen and Alton Park rounding out April. And then we go to Snetterton 300 at Long Beach, and we finish the season at Summit Point Raceway, full circuit there as well. To be fair, Summit Point is not very big, so we had to go to the full circuit really, because it's still not a long track in general, is it, Zach, really?
Which one?
Summit Point full.
Oh, yeah, there, yeah. The short one is dreadful. So I'm glad we went to the long one. It was an all right sort of 3 races. I enjoyed Summit Point. It was all right. It did lend itself to some interesting moments, some very fun overtakes for sure. Again, not my favourite racetrack though.
No?
No.
Oh.
Probably because I'm bad at it and my experience of it is diabolical. I usually tend to enjoy the tracks I'm good at, and by good I mean
minimal.
I can finish a race.
Just.
Barely.
Oh, okay. Don't forget, guys, as well, as we are switching over to the NASCAR trucks for next season. Again, that will be, sign-ups will open on the website shortly. Again, that's going to be free entry, sponsored by Hi-Fi Lounge and iLounge Racing, which was Paul Clark. So thank you very much for Paul for sponsoring another season there as well. So that will be free entry. So tomorrow night we are doing a hosted truck session at Kansas Speedway, 135 laps with stage breaks at 45 and 90. So if you want to get yourself involved for that, session goes live at 8 p.m. And look out for JPB NASCAR Trucks Welcome Race. That is it. There's no passwords on there, so look out for that one, and you can come and get yourself involved here as well. Not many minutes left till they start getting underway. We've got to wait for Bailiff and Williams. If Williams is going to make it on track, of course, that would be absolutely ideal. And we will be able to get this up and running for the second race of the season, of the final round, here tonight. So, yeah, let's see how it goes. Is Mr. Williams going to make this? He does not have long at all, so I'm not entirely sure if he is. And if he isn't, he's denting his latecomers championship quite badly here. Oh, there he is. He's on the back. Popped up. The only one in the green there as well. Just also some very exciting news for me here, guys, as well. Let's get this race up and running, and I'll tell you after 3, 4, 5, and we are going to be green, green, green for race 2 here as well. Edward goes on the right-hand side. Dan Lewis is going to try and come through the middle. Now we've got Paul Godden coming in as well. Edward blocks him off there. Dan Lewis tries to run around the outside in turn 1. Bailiff's trying to get his mix and his nose in. Ridley's trying to be in there as well. But at the moment, it's JPB Racing 1 and 3 here again as John McCutcheon, Wayne Palmer going side by side into the hairpin. Luke Maxwell settling in there as well, complete and utter carnage. Something is going on here, and now everybody has just about managed to get it through. But Zach, that was close side by side.
Here he was, everyone kicking off this race in fantastic fashion, as we'd expect here at Tsukuba. Parfitt leads from Godden and Lewis, so 1, 2, 3 for the AMs. Let's see what Ridley can do. Of course, up 2 places from his initial getaway. There's Godden trying to get the up and under on, of course, Parfitt Jr., but Parfitt able to hold his nerve and stay ahead. We've got a Godden sandwich with some good old JPB bread in the form of Parfitt and Lewis either side of him. Then, of course, you've got Ridley, Bailiff and McCutcheon just in behind, with Delmont and Maxwell trying to fight their way forward. And this is going to be the true test for Delmont and Maxwell. How well can you overtake here at Tsukuba? Well,
we're going to find out, aren't we? The Bailiff there as well with Ridley. Bailiff, I love that. Bailiff goes to the right, Ridley goes to the left. And unfortunately, he left John McCutcheon with nowhere to go whatsoever. Carl Jacklett still in the mix. Delmont just sitting at the back here, holding his line, holding the time. Jacklett trying to put his nose up the inside of McCutcheon. Ridley trying to go up the inside of Lewis. Now we've got Paul Godden and Edward out in front currently at the moment. Is this going to work out for either of these guys, or is there going to be complete and utter carnage? Well, let's hope there isn't, as Edward is battling away there. Wayne Palmer, Chris Dixon, no incidents so far. Great racing currently at the moment, and all of the fields separated by not a lot here at the moment, Zach.
No, not at all. Everyone keeping it nice and, of course, close together and nip and tuck between each and every single one of them. Very chaotic going into the final corner, as you can see, with multiple cars nose to tail. Chris Dixon rounds off the top 10, so looking fairly strong, of course, in his respective pursuits going forward. And however, under a bit of pressure from Wayne Palmer, who's going to look to go to the right-hand side of him up the hill towards turn number 1. Going to take a very tight line is Palmer as he chucks the move to the inside. Dixon, of course, sees it coming, but hasn't quite got the legs to go the long way around. Loses control on the exit, and here we go back to the front. Parfitt still leads from Godden and Lewis.
Yeah, absolutely. Parfitt still up front. Godden there, Lewis there, Ridley, Bailiff, McCutcheon, Jacklett, Delmont and Maxwell. We've got and then we break into the 6 pros behind us with Ridley, with Bailiff, McCutcheon, with Jacklett, with Delmont, with Luke Maxwell there as well. So some great action taking place. I'd love to see JPB Racing get a 1-2 here as well. That would be absolutely amazing. There's been a lot more action happening with that one, but we will tell you what's going on with the JPB Racing team at the moment here as Carl Ridley, John Bailiff going at it here once again. Now we're going to see Paul Godden in the mix. Is he going to be able to hold on from Carl Ridley? Ridley's gone round the outside of Lewis. Now McCutcheon's going to go and try to do the same thing. He's got the inside coming into turn 1 in Bailiff, but Ridley is absolutely flying. He's gone through, taking the 2 arms right at the beginning. Now it's Edwards up on here as well. Edwards on the list. How's he going to be able to hold on here, Zach? And can he get through?
Of course, We'll soon find out, and let's see side by side going into the next braking zone. Carl Jacklett nearly tapped, and of course actually sends the move eventually on John Bailiff, who gets absolutely swamped by 2 cars. Was not expecting that to happen for him at all. Carl Jacklett on the inside, Maxwell going the long way around. Beautifully done, and great respect given from all involved. Downmont as well wants to slice the pie. As you can see, Bailiff drops down to 9th place overall, trying to keep it on the inside, as Palmer as well trying to go for the very long way around. But of course that was a very quick disappointment for him, but been a disastrous night so far for John Bailiff.
Yeah, it definitely has. He's not looked comfortable at this circuit, and now he's got the man behind him, Wayne Palmer, who's going to be coming here as well. Welcome in, Gary Walsh. Evening all these hands stepping, good to see. Yeah, it is. They've done a great job, to be fair, buddy, and they lead the top 3 places. Ridley, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. He has kept it going there as well. That's going to be a very interesting one to decipher a little bit later. Edward now down in 5th with McCutcheon in front of him, and Dan Lewis in front of that. Carl Jacklett coming up as well. Oh my dearie me, what is going on? Poor old Edward Parfitt ended up on the bumper cars.
Yeah. Oh, wow, that's a drift. Nice. Well held, I suppose, from Adam Dunwant. But yeah, disaster for Edward Parfitt in recent moments. There you can see John Bailiff actually trying to go for an overtake. Apart from, of course, besides being overtaken today, he's actually going to be making some steps forward. Wayne Palmer trying to nip his way on the inside as well, as Bailiff tries to keep his foot in the long way round. Parfitt, of course, able to defend for now, but is only going to be losing time. Let's see what the 22 machine can do. He, of course, on the right-hand side of your screen, that's the outside for the very fast, very long left right-hander, of course, hit for the final corner. Now Parfitt is going to try and push the limits and extend the track as best he can. Opens the steering off the road ever so slightly as Bailiff. Bit of contact as well. Very argy-bargy, but so far so fair.
Yeah, it does. That Parfitt leaves a lot of room for Bailiff to make sure he doesn't end up taking out the front, which is what we've seen happen previously. Carl Jacklett and Luke Maxwell battling it out. Ridley out in front with Godden and Lewis. They're still going now. We've got McCutcheon in the mix once again. Great action taking place from all of these guys. Wayne Palmer now going with Edward Parfitt. It looks like he may have fried his tyres a little bit here, Zach. Taking many sideways trips, did my boy on that one.
Yes, as there's Carl Jacklett. A lot of tyre smoke being kicked up, which is, well, probably not smelling too good in the cockpit of each of these cars. Would definitely not like to sniff this virtual track. That would be, well, burnt rubber. Not great. But flash the headlights there. Who's that? That is John McCutcheon. Maybe not too happy. Maybe trying to sort of distract Dan Lewis a little bit in his fight to push himself a little bit forward. Have to say, great race so far from Carl Ridley, up 5 places, fastest lap of the race so far, and clear of the pack. McCutcheon on the inside of Lewis, of course, moving his place up 1 overall. Of course, not getting himself any other points, but 1 step closer to fighting for the lead with the Aussie.
Can you imagine the smell at this race circuit with all the smoke that's coming off these cars? It would be physically insane. There'd be just burnt rubber everywhere. And I don't know if it would smell nice or if it wouldn't, to be honest. But Luke Maxwell giving Carl Jacklett a whole heap of grief here as well. Carl's got something to think about, because that is how close we are here again. Maxwell's going to try and go round the outside. Is he currently but the turn 8 here? Round the outside he goes. McCutcheon almost pushing Paul Godden along there. It's a good job. These guys are fighting it out, because McCutcheon's got to try and allow Maxwell to come up. Jacklett's going to give Maxwell a little bit of a squeeze there. Leave the door open, run your line. Maxwell's going to take the inside line, is he? Yes, he does. Maxwell goes through and still has time to come back at Jacklett. Jacklett's now going to try and come back at him. Maxwell goes to take his nose off. What's happening with McCutcheon? He's trying to go up the inside of Paul Godden at the moment, with Luke Maxwell right behind him there as well. Great job from all of these guys so far.
Yeah, everyone driving really well, and great respect given from each and every single one of them as we approach the halfway point of race 2. Side by side, you can see an absolutely almighty send from Adam Delmont, looking to go the long way around. Carl Jacklett gets given some space and actually has a bit of a leg up going into the next right-hander. Let's see if Jacklett's going to be able to go the long way around. He is momentarily, but Delmont now, the advantage swings his way. As long as he's able to keep his foot planted, he has the inside for the next braking zone here at this hairpin, so the advantage definitely goes to and fro. There, of course, John Bailiff now on the inside of course, Carl Jacklett, as he makes the most of the open gap on the inside. So the red and black, of course, of Jacklett under serious fire, dropping 2 places in the span of 4 corners.
Yeah, John Bailiff managing to make some overtakes here as well, which is great to see. Slowly starting to get the grips of Tsukuba. Carl Jacklett, yes, as he was very close to Bailiff there as they're running side by side. You can see Dan Lewis running side by side. That is with Luke Maxwell. Lewis holding, Maxwell holding, Delmont in there just to give it a little bit of an edge here. Maxwell can block Delmont in if he just plants him behind Dan Lewis. He didn't. Lewis moved out of the way. It was a little bit more compliant than he probably needed to be. Bailiff's going to go in hot. Manages to hold it round the hairpin at turn 4 here, and a great battle overall with Carl Jacklett, who's now just come back through again here. These two having a right old ding dong, and I think Luke Maxwell and Adam Delmont are going to do the same.
I definitely wouldn't doubt it. Of course, Delmont was waiting all race for an opportunity on Maxwell. It never came, and now he can see the, of course, the Team Redline driver right ahead of him. Let's see, Delmont into the final corner. Probably not close enough. If he is, it's probably going to end in tears. They are very close, though, to the back of Paul Godden, who himself is about 1.5 seconds back off McCutcheon, who himself is just shy of 2 seconds off Carl Ridley. So maybe the win out of reach, albeit not impossible, for Maxwell and Delmont. They've just got to almost put their egos aside and work together, at the very least, for the time being.
When have you ever seen racing drivers work together who are not in the same team?
Well, a lot of other ones do. Then again, it's Delmont, so I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. Delmont and Maxwell, I've never seen them work together, and Maxwell turned around and said, well, if you want to work together, you can crack on there fighting it out with Paul Godden. I'm going to go on my way. Godden there again, letting them through, and now Dan Lewis is right behind Paul Godden again. Wayne Palmer and Edward Parfitt there. Edward's losing a little bit of time. He's now going to come into the battle with Rob Williams. This is going to be interesting, considering Edward used to go to school with Rob's son here as well. So this is going to be very interesting. Is it going to be the master and the student, or is Edward going to get it this time around, as Williams is closing up behind him at the moment? Just broke into that second mark there once again. It's always quite surreal, to be fair, because I think when Rob first met Edward wasn't even old enough to even own a PC, let alone drive on one.
Well, you're never too young to own a PC. You're never too young to drive one either.
Okay. So what's your point? Edward didn't have a PC at the moment he met Rob many years ago.
They've both got one. Let's see who's going to be the
Get
one.
What I mean or not? No, you don't.
Mean?
No, exactly. I give up. Never mind. Move on. Let's go here as well as a crack on with the racing once again.
You're frying my brain. No.
It doesn't take
I've had
long.
enough of that today.
You ain't even got to worry. You ain't even got to get out of bed tomorrow. So just, let's crack on with Dan Lewis, Carl Jacklett and John Bailiff battling it out for that mid-pack race here as well. Williams is now behind Parfitt here. So unfortunately, Edward Parfitt is going to be under attack from the silver Kraken racing machine there as he battles down once again. This could be a right little ding-dong if these two get close together. I can feel it happening. And you can see Williams in the background there fighting out with Edward. That mid-pack still working his way through as well with Dan Lewis in there. Carl Jacklett, this is what he's got. Blimey, that is absolutely very, very close from John Bailiff.
Yeah, he's getting, uncomfortably close, I'm sure, for Carl Jacklett, getting a nice up and under, but stalls behind the rear bumper of Jacklett, who's able to defend really nicely, albeit only for 5th place in class. They're battling for the honours of who finishes last in the pros as such. I'm sure Carl Jacklett would not want to be the one to do it. And of course, John Bailiff doesn't want to do it twice, so he's going to be eager as ever. Then they've also got Wayne Palmer, P3 in the AMS as things stand, and is looking to move his place up a little bit further in the overall. Of course, Jacklett maybe going to have to use offense to be his defense. However, Bailiff forcing the space on the right-hand side. You can see the GT Omega logo just fading in as the 22 machine just gets closer and closer and further alongside into that final corner. Nicely done, but the up and under there from Carl Jacklett to launch a counter-attack.
Yeah, stellar job. Jacklett trying to come underneath now into turn 1. We've got 7 minutes on the clock. We've got Lewis, we've got Godden, we've got Palmer, Jacklett and Bailiff fighting it out. Up the front is John McHutchinson. He's got Carl Ridley just up the road. This is the battle for the lead. We got Bailiff and Jacklett side by side. Now Bailiff is managed to get that turn right, Zach. He's doing a great job at the moment because he's now managing to hold on. And as I say that, he loses a place to Carl Jacklett, so I'll just shut up and sit back in the booth.
Yeah, you do that. You do that, James.
I will. Clearly, I'm not doing something right, am I?
Oh, no, obviously not. Oh, my goodness me. What a send. Almost there. Oh, no, it is actually going to be a send from Wayne Palmer. I don't know if that was entirely intentional or not, but definitely there nonetheless. Final few minutes left to go of this race. There's McCutcheon on the back now of Carl Ridley. So, we'll fight for the lead.
Yeah, we are. We've got to fight for second place there because behind Luke Maxwell is Adam Dalmont, who's done an absolutely stellar job. McCutcheon's going to go now round the outside. Is he going to be able to? No, not this time, but I don't think it's going to be long. If these guys carry on scrapping, we're going to have a four-way fight here with Maxwell and Dalmont getting involved in this as well for the last 6 minutes. This could be a very spicy battle.
I don't doubt it. These guys are going to be bringing their A game, and yeah, four-way fight between four of the best drivers in the pros, of course, proving that by being, at the moment, 1, 2, 3 and 4 on the road. So, final few laps left to go in race number 2, and plenty of action still to come. McCutcheon, though, searching for the gap, trying to get the, of course, the up and under, but no way through for now. Of course, he's backed up by his teammate Luke Maxwell, who is going to be motivated as ever to maybe get 2 wins on the bounce.
Yeah, it definitely is, but is he going to get that victory? That's going to be the question. Is he going to be able to get it here again, or is McCutcheon going to get past Ridley? 5 minutes now remaining. They're going to have about another 5 laps here, Zach, and it's going to be looking very, very spicy as McCutcheon and Bailiff. Further back from that, we've got Paul Godden. He's got Dan Lewis, Carl Jacklett, John Bailiff, Wayne Palmer mixing it up as well. Edwards got away a little bit from Rob there, so no Mr. Williams beating Edward at the moment, but back up front, Ridley, McCutcheon, Maxwell and Dalmont not very far apart at all.
Not one bit. And Ridley still doing a really good job of defending, just planting the car exactly where it needs to be, being clever, being quick where he needs to be, positioning the car wide enough that McCutcheon can't really exploit much of the gaps that are there. And as we enclose onto the final 4 laps of this race, well, time definitely ticking. Dalmont, let's see what his progress is going to be looking like into the final few moments with the slipstream. Let's see if we're going to be able to have a fight for the lead as well. The Aussie, not really too phased as McCutcheon pulls out, then immediately pulls back in again. But McCutcheon, he does not wait around. If there is a gap to be had, he will force it. And oh my goodness me, talk about forcing it, tapping the rear end. Here comes Luke Maxwell to get both of them potentially into turn 1.
Oh, they're going to go 3 wide. Ridley, where are you going? Where are you going? Dalmont's going to throw it into the mix as well. Dalmont and Maxwell going side by side. Maxwell's still going to have the inside line going down into the hairpin at 4. Is he going to have to hold on? He is. What's McCutcheon going to do? McCutcheon kind of slows him up a little bit. Maxwell, they're going to end up off the side of the circuit almost. There's Dalmont there as well. McCutcheon and Dalmont ding-donging side by side. Now Maxwell and Ridley going at it for the lead of the race. Some great action here, Zach, and some great fighting all the way round.
Yeah, it really is. Great respect given from each and every single one of these drivers, as we'd expect from this caliber of drivers. McCutcheon, though, under pressure from Dalmont, who's now trying to spark a move. So the Scotsman's consistency and his sort of his rhythm may be coming undone a little bit. Dalmont trying to go the long way around. Maxwell trying to go the long way around of Ridley as well. So 2 by 2 Noah's Ark formation as Ridley still somehow is leading this race. Maxwell, they're going to be putting him under some unrelenting pressure into the final few laps of this race. Outside line once again at turn 1, but a big lockup into the gravel, into the barrier nearly as Maxwell drops to 4th.
Oh, talk about the down on the final bit there as well. Unfortunately, we can have a look back and see for Luke Maxwell there was a little bit of contact with Carl Ridley, and that is where Maxwell ended up. He's managed to hold on to 4th place. Now we've got McCutcheon and Dalmont. They're still going at it as well here. Then we've got Godden, Jacklett, Lewis, Bailiff and Palmer still scrapping it out down in the midfield. There's Palmer and Bailiff going at it a bit as well. Little bit of contact there, Zach. Unfortunately, that is what caused the problem.
Yeah, exactly. Just doesn't take much. Just a small little tap and things can go drastically wrong very, very quickly. But, of course, everything is just about fair enough. Of course, Ridley, now extending the gap to 1.2 ahead of McCutcheon. But Dalmont, Maxwell still in hot pursuit. So well done to Maxwell, to be fair. Really good recovery from locking up into turn number 1 to be still, in the fight for the podium. 2 laps left to go then of race number 2. Ridley has dealt with this nerve so, he has held his composure remarkably well.
Well, yeah, I'm wondering if there's going to be some slight questions about the left on right movement on the straight. Of course, that big arc that did enforce the contact with Maxwell. I'm sure if that will be mentioned here, we will find out. But at the moment, McCutcheon holding up Delmont. He's got Maxwell behind him. We've got Palmer and Lewis. They're battling away further down in the AMS as Bailiff is still running here again. Edwards, Rob's got past Edward here. What happened and how did that one work out? That was going, okay, that happened there as Rob and Edward give each other a little bit of a love contact on the way round. But these front guys still battling out as we're going to have one more lap here.
So definitely not long left to go, and time ticking down. Desperation maybe starting to creep in for some of these drivers as we tick over. Just 1 minute left to go. Ridley yet to cross the line, so this will be the final lap of race 2 before we head away into race 3. Ridley, I mean, controversially maybe, but I have to give him full credit where it's due. He has driven remarkably well. Of course, all of them skating through turn number 1. You can see that rear right just not moving at all, just sliding into turn number 1 as they're all under such high levels of course, lateral load going into that corner as to how hard these drivers are pushing to get that rear end rotated. McCutcheon versus Delmont versus Maxwell. There's just not enough overtaking opportunities to really force anything on the final lap. All Ridley's got to do, keep it clean.
Yeah, he has. He's just got to plant it on the apex as he comes around turn 8 now. The right-hander, McCutcheon's just got to do exactly the same now as well. Is he going to play the game? Is he going to hold up Delmont enough to allow Maxwell to go through? He's not going to, I don't think. I think he's going to just take it as he can here. And a great job from these guys as it is. Ridley in your winner in the pros. And then it's going to be McCutcheon, Delmont and Maxwell rounding out the top 4. Look at that, all 4 come over the line together. Paul Godden is going to take the win in the AMS, so a great job from him. So well done, Paul, as well. So Paul Godden taking the victory. Wayne Palmer and Dan Lewis the final places there as well. So a great job from all of these guys, and another very interesting race too.
Yeah, not disappointed at all. The four-way fight at the front was definitely something to behold, and we get to do it all over again. Full grid reverse for race number 3.
There you are, your results. Carl Ridley is your winner with John McCutcheon in second, Adam Delmont third, Luke Maxwell in fourth. Then you've got Carl Jacklett taking fifth. Then we've got Paul Godden winning the AMS with Wayne Palmer and Dan Lewis, John Bailiff, Rob Williams, Edward Parfitt, Chris Dixon, and of course we've got no Charles Kellerman. That is going to put Chris Dixon on pole for race number 3. We have got a 5-minute warm-up here, guys, as well, so settle in, and I'm sure me and Zach are just going to run and get a drink, and we'll be right back very shortly. Okay, guys, I've grabbed a drink. Zach's grabbed a drink, and we're back and ready for the final race of the evening. Thank you so much for joining us here as well. Gary Walsh, the season 3. No, not season 3. God blimey. Season 5 is out, buddy, as well. If you want to come and get yourselves involved, that is the schedule for next season, 18th of March. And we start on the 18th of March at Brands Hatch. Then we go to Sandown, Laguna Seca, and Silverstone. Knock Hill, Watkins Glen Cup and Alton Park International. That rounds out April. Snetterton 300, Long Beach and Summit Point is there as well. Obviously with the announcement going out on Friday that we are finishing off the TCRs, there is an open wheel series coming. Mr. Sweeney. Probably going to be the FF 1600 Formula Ford.
Is that the one you get free?
Yes. There might be a complete and utter free content dedicated calendar to the 1600s.
Please do. I'm stingy.
I know you are. Tell me about it. Trust me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have to screen share if you weren't.
What? No. Hang on. I don't get paid enough to buy my own screen. No, thank you.
Really? Really?
No, I don't. I'll never get paid enough.
Are you forgetting I've got your wages count for the last 18 months you've been working to put alongside me here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not being ungrateful. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying I've never got iRacing. I never put an account on it because I'm too tight.
I've got an account. I've got an account on iRacing, thank you.
You can pay for it, will ya?
No.
Oh my God, you squeaky.
Wait, can I write off for my taxes?
Let's have that conversation off broadcast. Zach as well. I don't think we need to have that one. But let's have that conversation off this one. But I'll give you a hint. Yes, you can. Right. Anyway.
Because I do pay taxes now.
Yes, I know. Why are you finishing TCRs? Because, Phil, we wanted to change. Basically, iRacing are still not updating the cars in TCRs. They're still not giving us any of the new ones. We're not getting the hybrid series as well. The current official TCRs have died off as well. They're not actually going official, which means they've got to have more than 6 people in till about the 8 o'clock race. So it's all day that you cannot get an official race. The numbers have just died off a lot. And obviously you've got your core people, but unfortunately we're not looking at continuing on that one. The numbers are just dwindling. I'd love for them to come out and update, with all the new cars and all the new fancy hybrid and all that. But I think I've got more hope considering we're getting more GT3s that we really don't need and more other things that we really don't need. I don't think there's going to be a lot of love for the TCL. So, yeah, that's why we're ending it here as well for this season, because I think it's just kind of up to the point, Phil, where it's probably just run its course. Let's get the grid up for race number 3. Charles Kellerman is obviously not here, so it's going to be Chris Dixon on pole with Edward Parfitt, Rob Williams, Bailiff, Lewis, Palmer, Godden, Jack Litt and Maxwell. Then we've got Delmont McCutcheon and Carl Ridley out the back of the field. It's going to be a very, very exciting one here. It's a bit different from the Clios. As you see, yes, the numbers are dropped off, but that will happen as you're getting towards the end of league racing, because obviously we are league racing and these are the guys that are battling away for the championship. However, Rob Williams is just in here for fun, to be blatantly honest. He will be taking over admin duties next season for the Clios, so that's going to be an interesting one. But that's the reason, Phil, why we're doing it. But the lights are coming on here as well. 1, there you go, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we are green once more. Edward Parfitt, Chris Dixon. They've got to go, Zach. They cannot hang on here, can they? They've got to get this start and get away from them.
Yeah, they've just got to run as best they can and hope that they build up enough of a gap side by side. Williams on the inside of Parfitt, not waiting around at all. Of course, here for fun, he's definitely having some. 3 wide, nearly going into the first, the second proper braking zone of this race. Carl Jacko sideways, and Luke Maxwell backwards into the barrier, losing his front bumper and his rear one in one. Of course, continuous swoop down to 12th and last place.
Oh, how did that happen there? Boys. Oh, you can see the sim stickers on the outside. That is the car number 13. That's Paul Godden here. McCutcheon almost... Oh, Jacklet kind of closes the door on McCutcheon, really. Unfortunately, doesn't he? And then comes across him and then goes... Oh, that's Luke Maxwell, sorry. And then goes in and then carnage commences behind it. Edward Parfitt battling away now with John Bailiff. Bailiff is looking feisty over these last couple of races. And he's looking feisty again here, Zach.
Definitely has, and end of the season, people are motivated, people want to get these moves done. Williams once again fighting with Parfitt, who's looking very punchy. Of course, nearly gets his nose chopped off by Williams, of course, in the green class, the of course latecomers to this championship, just to fill some space on the grid. Into turn number 4, you can see side by side for the lead, Bailiff taking the lead ahead of Chris Dixon. So for once, Bailiff leading the way in of course in Tsukuba, and doing a great job of it actually. Now he's got to make the most, build an early lead before, well, I was going to say before Adam Delmont or sort of Luke Maxwell. Williams! Oh no, torpedo, and that is a car park. I was going to say Adam Delmont is a threat, but well, after smashing into the back of someone, I don't really think he's going to be much of a threat for, well, at least for a little while.
I think he hit the grass. I think Williams hit the grass. He tries to come back, misses his braking point, and then away he goes, and then just watches this. He's on the brakes though, fair play to him. And now look, boom, 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 boom. As well as all of these cars just end up going into the back. That Constantine, oh, Rob. What is going on? I think he was trying to go into the pits there, and unfortunately just got that all wrong there for Mr. Williams as he's trying to struggle to get that car back here. But Adam Delmont, Wayne Palmer, Edward Parfitt all in the mix again. That's that group further back. It just goes to show the Clios can take a little bit of bumping and grinding here, because you wouldn't see this many cars carrying on normally if it was something a little bit like open wheelers.
Yeah, they can take a bit of a they can take a little bit of a knock as such, whereas F4, you have a knock, steering sideways, and you're out of the race, or it just completely detaches from the suspension. Of course, then, you know, these Clios aren't invincible, but they've got a bit of leeway. You lose your front bumper, you can still drive the car. You know, you lose your rear bumper, you can still drive the car. You have a similar crash in an open wheel car, and your race is over, essentially. So, of course, that's always been an advantage of tin tops, is that they are a little bit more durable and forgiving when it comes to mistakes, which is why you see drivers going for more do-or-die moves, because they know that chances are they can probably get away with it. 3.5 minutes into this race, and you've got Dixon versus Dan Lewis, who's had a fairly all right evening, to be fair. So too has Wayne Parfitt, Wayne Palmer, I've got to say. Not
Wayne Parfitt? Who's Wayne Parfitt?
I don't know, to be honest, mate. Wayne Palmer, Edward Parfitt there in 4th. It's because I was reading Edward's name while trying to say Palmer. Anyway, side by side, Maxwell versus McCutcheon, as Maxwell tries to reel himself back into contention.
Yeah, Maxwell's down in 8th at the moment. He's got Edward Parfitt, Dan Lewis in front of him, then Chris Dixon and Wayne Palmer and Adam Delmont there. A big puff of smoke from Delmont further up. McCutcheon seems to be able to go later on the brakes into that hairpin than most people have seen here. And I think he's struggling at the moment, because obviously he'd love to get past Luke Maxwell, but he also needs Maxwell to clear Parfitt first as they're coming into the final corner. Lewis is going to go round the outside. Maxwell's going to go up the inside. He's going to send it up there. You've got to give him room. Coming out the other side there, and he did do that. Now Parfitt and Maxwell still going side by side. McCutcheon's going to push Maxwell through here. Now we've got Lewis in the mix. It's going to be, oh, Dixon. As Chris Dixon goes off, but it is going to be Maxwell. It is going to be McCutcheon. They've cleared Parfitt. Parfitt's now sitting with Paul Godden, and they're going to have a good old scrap, and his pack led by Dan Lewis at the moment, who is under an insurmountable amount of pressure.
He very much is, and yeah, he's got to train. What, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars all queued up behind him, wanting a slice of his position. Chris Dixon under pressure as Maxwell picks his way past on the inside. Of course, it's going to be the long way around of the hairpin. I don't really think Dixon is going to put up much of a battle. McCutcheon as well, going to launch the move to the outside. So Dixon getting caught with his pants around his ankles, but fair enough, because he's not exactly in with a fight versus Maxwell or McCutcheon. Side by side as they run their way towards the final corner. Dixon, I assume, is going to be the one to back out of this one, because McCutcheon is going to absolutely send the move the long way around, try and take the racing line. He does exactly that. Up into 7th place. Yeah,
Chris Dixon didn't really have a lot of response for that, did he? You know, McCutcheon went in, he sent it in there, and unfortunately for Dixon, there was just nowhere for him to go. Carl Ridley chasing down Bailiff, Delmont behind. Palmer's had a solid evening this evening. He's taken a win and a 2nd place at the moment as Wayne, so a great job from him. So Wayne Palmer there having a solid night's racing. Dan Lewis in the background with John McCutcheon and Luke Maxwell. Then we've got Parfitt and Godden battling out with Dixon in the mix as well. Carl Jacklett is still, he's back out on track. Williams is not so much. I think that car's gone kapoof there as Bailiff battling it out once more with Carl Ridley.
Yeah, Bailiff. That's Ridley. Let's see if Ridley can go for 2 and 2. That would be remarkable, of course, as a result today, showcasing his skill here at Tsukuba. But how interested he's going to be on robbing his teammate of what could be a maiden victory as well. But Ridley, think for yourself, mate. Just go for it. Let's see. Delmont as well, not a million miles away, will be very willing to take positions away from both of them, considering he has not had the best of evenings. I believe second and third is his results. He wants to make that a win and complete each step of the podium.
Yeah, absolutely. I wonder if he's going to. It's going to be an interesting fight here as we're going into 7 minutes on the clock. Bailiff, Ridley, Delmont, Palmer, Maxwell has got McCutcheon. They've cleared Lewis now as well. Now Edwards got Godden. He's in a battle with Dixon. Slight little bit of rubbing there as well. Rubbing is racing, as I've been told. And if you're not going for the gap, you're not a racing driver. So let's see how these guys get on again and do some great fighting once more as they're battling away here. There's a nice little tidy hand battle here. I think this is going really, really well.
Yeah, everyone just keeping each other busy and putting on some pretty good entertainment, can't lie. Of course, this is the fight for the final place on the AM podium, so a little bit more prestige in that one as well. Of course, for the final race of the season. Weird to think about that, and difficult to sort of properly process that this is the final race of the season. We're already nearly half of the way through it. Into turn number 1, and let's see. Godden gets on the inside of Parfitt, picks his way past for 4th place in the AMS, but Parfitt sees it coming, tries to, of course, give him as much space as possible, but a contact between the pair of them. Parfitt has to settle for 10th.
Yeah, he does. What's going on up here? Well, that's what's happening at the moment. Bailiff under a heap of pressure from Ridley. Ridley under pressure from Delmont. And the ever fast Palmer is slowly closing in on them here. If these guys carry on fighting, they will be, I will say, under pressure once more. As these guys carry on scrapping. Delmont's on the left-hand side. He's going to go for the draft. Bailiff is going to pull Ridley through if he can here as well. Is he going to be able to hold on? He is. Ridley did manage to get in front of Delmont there as they're going round, coming into the last 11.5 minutes of Season 4 here of the JPB Clios.
Yeah, it's going to be a shame to see it go, but a couple of weeks' time we get to get things going once again, and with exciting prospects on the horizon, we know that open wheel championship that we're all very much looking forward to. I know I definitely am. Whether it's on track or in the commentary booth, I definitely would like to get myself involved in one way or another, because I love some open wheels and I've fallen in love with these Clio. So a lot of prospects on the horizon for JPB in terms of the leads. Ridley searching for the lead, so too is Delmont. So too, to be fair, Palmer's got a good shot.
I think he has, and nobody would begrudge Palmer tonight because he's driven so well. You know, a first, a second. He looks like he's on for a shoe-in for a first again here. The question is for Wayne, does he just get involved, or does he just sit back and watch? That's going to be the question. And I think sensibly he would sit back and watch, right? He's leading the arms. He's got Lewis, Dixon, Godden and Parfitt fighting out. But from a racing driver's point of view, is he really going to want to sit there and wait?
No, it's not. Why would he?
I don't know. I'm asking you a question.
Not like the guy from Horrid Henry. What's his name? Beefy Bert?
I don't know what I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you never watch Horrid Henry?
No.
Seriously?
I'm older than you, mate, by about 30 years, so no.
Oh.
I'm on more adult TV, you know, the ones that aren't just cartoons, as well. So,
Right, okay. Nice.
you know what I mean? We're the ones that read books. You know, Zach's the one that reads comics. Because he has that picture. To be fair, though, I've got a guilty pleasure of comics, so I can't really say a lot as well. And I paint little Star Wars figures, so I really can't really say a lot about that either. But Delmont battling away with Delmont battling away with Bailiff side by side. Ridley's now cleared him. Is he going to be able to pull Bailiff past Delmont? Delmont's all on his own. Palmer's all on his own. These two obviously from the Win It and Bin It Racing boys are going to be teaming work here. Delmont says, I don't care. I don't care if you're going to team up. It doesn't matter. I'm going to come through. Is he going to take that second place away? He looks like he is. Oh, gee, you sneaky little rascal. Delmont there definitely been to Specsavers to see that gap there, Zach, and he just put that through.
Yeah, threading the needle, which, yeah, a very precise art sometimes of driving these Clios. Delmont then through into second place with the pursuit of the race lead on the horizon. We're over into the second half of this race and counting down the laps, counting down the minutes before the end of this season. Dalmont all over the rear end of Carl Ridley and is going to be trying to stop that Aussie from taking 2 wins in 2 this evening. Of course, Luke Maxwell very unlikely to be making it 2 wins in total this evening, of course winning race 1. Let's see if we can have 3 different winners in 3 different races here tonight. Dalmont stands the best chance at toppling Carl Ridley today.
And I think we've managed to set a record here alone. Do you know why?
Most laps?
Nope. The fact that Dalmont's never not won a race in a round.
Really?
Maxwell race 1, Dalmont in second. Ridley in race 2 and McCutcheon in second and Dalmont in third. And he's not winning at the moment if it stays like this.
No, he's not. I'm just surprised that he's won at least once in every other round.
I am pretty sure if I go back through the results, he has won at least 1 race in every other round. So there we go. What have I missed, says Craig Jones? Well, you've missed 2 races already. We've had some great battling. We've had some great little ding-dongs. We've had people go, unfortunately, off. We've got Paul Godden, Chris Dixon and Edward Parfitt battling away. We've got Ridley Dalmont and Bailiff fighting out. And we've got Wayne Palmer in there. And then we've got John McCutcheon and Luke Maxwell. So at the moment, you've missed a great little ding-dong there of action as well. You should have got yourself out here, Craig. I'm sure you would have enjoyed it being back out on track, driving your wonderful Clios that you love so dearly here this evening, but unfortunately you're not for the final round of the season.
Oh yeah, Craig Jones, that guy, really. Honestly, I forgot he existed, I've got to be honest.
Yeah, I think that's because, to be fair though, mate, he hasn't been here for so long, and obviously, we've not heard him go on about his trophies for ages, have we? And that's the thing. Not always a bad thing, I've got to be honest, because sometimes it does get repetitive, but for him, hey, decisions his, decisions made. Decisions you got to live by. So let's see how it goes here with Ridley, Dalmont, Bailiff, Palmer and McCutcheon. The question is, will Craig be back on track next season here as well? Or will it be in another league on a Monday?
What other league is there on a Monday?
We'll talk about it later. But Ridley, Dalmont, Bailiff, Palmer and McCutcheon still scrapping it out as they're going round the final corner here. 6 minutes to go here, Zach. Still some great action taking place up front here and still some fights on the clock.
Yeah, it definitely took me a second to clock on this, obviously what you were saying. But I got there in the end, thankfully. But yeah, looking forward to the final few minutes of this race. Carl Ridley leads from Dalmont. Bailiff about 3/4 of a second back. Palmer still within a shout of an overall podium, so not at all a bad result for him. McCutcheon, Maxwell, the team Radline drivers 5 and 6. A handful of laps left to go. And yeah, again, a shame to see the season end, but so many exciting prospects on the horizon. Ridley, though, can't take anything away from him this evening, because where has it come from?
Wow. I don't really know, to be honest. I think the problem is he gets up very early, right? We know that at the moment. They're 11 hours ahead of us in Australia. So it's 20 past 9 here. It's only 20 past 8 there. And I'm not really sure what time he got up, to be honest. It was probably something really crazy in the morning. But I think overall, he's just come in tonight and it looks like he's just enjoying his racing. And I think that's the thing. He's got such a buzz out of leading. I think he's just doing a stellar job as well. And he goes on a defensive. Dalmont, you've got it too hot. Yeah. Get it stopped, Adam. Get it stopped. They're going to be side by side there. Coming out, Palmer is in the background. He's scrapping away with Bailiff, but Dalmont has taken the lead here, and he has taken the race lead with 5 minutes to go.
Well, that is an important move for Dalmont to have made, but Ridley, he's not going to let him go. He can't let him go. He wants this win. Let's see if Dalmont can keep the streak running of winning at least 1 race every round, of course, in his pursuit for the championship. Into the hairpin once more as we close in on the final 4 laps of race 3. Dalmont there just ahead, but Ridley, opportunities are so few and far between. I mean, how long was Dalmont waiting for an opportunity to get past? Ridley, does he have enough time? Is there going to be another opportunity?
I don't really know, buddy. I don't really know. He's got 4 minutes, and it's 4 minutes of short laps here as well. Phil, stop picking on my mate, you two, and then I can deal with these 2 morons, Phil. Well, Phil, he can only deal with it as long as he's hiding behind his missus. So that's the difference there as well. Because if you're ever going to go into a fight, you definitely want Craig Misses is on your side there, mate. Because I can tell you what, Craig definitely doesn't wear the trousers despite what he thinks. So Wayne Palmer battling away here with Bailiff. Bailiff's holding on the inside. Palmer's going to go round the outside there. McCutcheon is in the fight. He's opened up a bit of a gap to Luke Maxwell. Delmont now fighting out with Ridley. 3.5 minutes to go. Is this going to be Delmont break, like almost setting a record? I'm sure he has won one race every round. I'm pretty absolutely 99% positive about that.
I can't recall him. I don't think he has. So fair enough. I mean, I just put it down to Delmont for at least one round entirely. However, running a little bit wide through the final corner, Ridley getting a little bit close for comfort, of course, for Delmont. Final 3 laps left to go. Then it'll be 2 at the line. Ridley slightly quicker, looking for the gap on the inside. Actually, a change for the lead, potentially being in the apex, and Delmont just able to hang on.
Yeah, it's Palmer's lost that place to McCutcheon, but I don't think that's more of a I've lost the place. I think that's a I'm going to stay out of the way place here as well. Dixon and got past Parfitt. Godden's opening it up down the line as well. That could have something to do with Wayne Palmer going off track also. Oh, that's a nasty little bump. That's going to send him a little bit skew-whiffy there. And what did Edward do? Not further back. I've got a funny feeling, by the looks of it, not too far off the same thing. In fact, the exact same thing and exactly the same tyre lines there. So Palmer and Parfitt swapping tyre lines. Ridley now, final lap. No, there's going to be 2 more here because they're not going to get... is it going to be 1 or 1 more? Good blimey, it's going to be very close here, Zach.
2 at the line. 2 at the line, I think. Yeah, it's not. Hang on. No, this is the penultimate lap, because in a minute's time there will be 19 and 7 seconds, and then of course they'll be on to the final lap of the race. Dump leads then from Ridley, and there you can see Bailiff under pressure from Cutcherson, who wants to get himself onto the podium. So the Scotsman has come up from absolutely nowhere to fight for this podium. Maxwell into the mix as well. 2 laps, and this fight for the podium could be very spicy indeed. You can see the Scotsman now on the left-hand side going into the next braking zone. However, trying to go the wrong way around. There's contact as they meet, as Bailiff is sideways. However, in doing so, he loses a couple of positions and tags Race 1 winner Luke Maxwell. Yeah,
unfortunately, I don't think Maxwell had many places to go there, so that was part of it, as these guys still battling it out. Craig Jones in YouTube chat now. Oh, so unprofessional here as well. Yes, sorry, we're not whiter than white, Craig. We do try, but at the end of the day, we are bringing enjoyment and fun and excitement into this commentary rather than sitting here being robots not responding here as well. So there we go. Up and running once again, McCutcheon and Palmer going into the last corner here and are still having an absolutely ding-dong. Final lap of the race. Delmont is going to get this, I think, here as well. He's a second back. Maxwell runs well wide as he's coming now over the final lap of the evening here as well. Zach, great racing again throughout these guys. They've done an absolutely stellar job and a great way to end the season.
I think so. Tsukuba has not disappointed in any way, shape or form. Looking forward, of course, to next season and all the fantastic circuits that we take to over the course of that one. We don't return to Tsukuba, which is a bit disappointing, but I suppose we do replace it with Laguna Seca, which is kind of a similar circuit in terms of that difficult vein. What do you mean?
How are you putting Laguna Seca with...
What do you mean?
Tsukuba.
Tight, twisty and short. It's
you're better off saying Tsukuba is more like Brands GP than
we've got
Laguna.
Knockhill.
Yeah, Knockhill. You've got Snetterton on there. What are you thinking?
Tsukuba's nothing like Snetterton. Anyway, Delmont to keep the record up.
But he definitely ain't like Laguna Seca. As Delmont comes over the line, he takes a victory in race number 3. Finally waited his patience here, and he manages to hold on. Wayne Palmer taking a victory again in the arms. Done a great job from him. Bailiff Maxwell. Then we've got Dan Lewis and Paul Godden taking the podium as well. So great job from these AM guys here. As Lewis does come over the line. There is Chris Dixon and Edward Parfitt on a run down to the line. They come round the corner like absolute banshees then. I didn't think either of them were going to make it. Carl Jacklett brings up the end of the field, but that is it. That is the final here of the season. Let's bring you up the final results of the final race of season number 4, and it is Adam Delmont Out in front, Carl Ridley, John McCutchinson, your 1, 2, 3 in the pros. Then you're going to have Wayne Palmer in the AMs with John Bailiff and Luke Maxwell. Dan Lewis and Paul Godden round out the AMs. Chris Dixon, Edward Parfitt, Carl Jacklett, Rob Williams there as well. We know Charles Kellerman all evening. So we're going to jump over into the interview booth now and see if we're going to have a chat with some of these drivers. It's been a great evening of racing here again, and I think we can safely say it's going to be even better going forward.
Silverstone, Knockhill, Watkins Glen Cup, which I think
It is a
you
NASCAR
just go
circuit.
straight on. You go straight on from that first loop.
Yeah.
To the left and then the right, and then you're done. So good circuit. Alton Park, Snet, Long Beach. Oh, that'll be fun in Clio's. Goodness me. And then
Long Beach?
Same format, of course. That's what it says on the calendar.
Yeah, we're going to Long Beach, but why do you say it as if it's going to be like, fun circuit?
Because it's Long Beach, mate. The hairpin, the flower garden.
Yeah,
with these guys.
Yeah, it'll be all right. Jesus Christ, I think you're going to underestimate our driver's ability. I don't like it.
Mate, Delmont's the champion, all right? I'm allowed to underestimate him.
Who are we going to have in the AMs? I think it's going to be Paul Godden in the AMs. So we'll bring Paul up there as well. So some great racing. I want to have a chat with Mr. Palmer because he's done a stellar job here. So let's have a chat with some of these guys as well. We're going to... Whoa, as we interrupt Adam Dalmont's conversation halfway through there as well, as he has jumped into the booth. I think we can safely say, Mr. Dalmont, dear sir, you are this season's champion.
Yeah, it would appear so, dude. Yeah, sorry, mate, I was literally in the middle of just saying, yeah, I've been summoned.
Yes, sorry. Hey, you can't not come in and have a chat with me when you take the championship, can you? It's been.
I was already planning on coming in, mate. I was already going to come in anyway.
Well, I brought you in before you even decided what you wanted to do, to be blatantly honest with you. But it's been a fun season, mate, hasn't it? You know, we knew the drop-off was coming as we'd gone through the last 2 rounds, but the main people were still here. The main guys were fighting out. And for you, I am sure now, this is a stat that I think I can safely say I've got correct. You have won a race in every single round, haven't you?
I think so. Yeah, I think I have. Yeah, because I obviously took that last race. So yeah.
Told you, Zach, I was right. He never believes me, Adam. As well as the season been that Adam's won a race in every round.
Oh, I was surprised by that, to be honest. Can't lie.
Yeah, no, normally I give it away, don't I? So.
Zach Sweeney. You can jab him if you want, Adam. It's not a problem there as well, buddy. How's the season been for you, mate? It's been a tough one for everyone, but a great season, I think, for yourself.
Yeah, it's been good, mate. It's been fighting all the way through. It's not been easy by any stretch of imagination. It's been very hard. Luke's found a lot of pace. Luke were running really quick tonight, and to be honest, I've not really done any practice because I've been doing the Bathurst 12-hour, so I've literally been in a GT3 all week and weekend. So I didn't really need to do much tonight, did I? Really? You know, if we're honest, it was just be here and race and just finish. So I wasn't exactly pushing to be like, Mr. I want to go out and win every race on last round. Luke was too quick. He was genuinely too quick for me tonight. He had a little bit of pace on me. But yeah, I made the most of mishaps, and I think did I get a podium in every? No, I didn't, did I? I got a podium in race podium in race 3.
Yeah, you've had, I'll tell you what, you got a full house, mate. If we gave out silver and bronze medals, you'd get a full house for your win in race 1 where you're gold, your silver in winner in race 3, silver in race 1, and your bronze in race 2. So
right, yeah.
But you have to contact.
Yeah, I think that's another one of those silly stats, isn't it? I think I've had an actual podium in nearly every single race, barring 1, maybe 2.
Yeah, I think so as well.
So
you're like a little stat monster, Mr. Delvin, aren't you?
To be honest, mate, it were only a couple of weeks ago I was looking at the stats because I was just looking at mine and Pete's various week-to-week stats, and it blew my mind how close it was, to be quite honest. So, you know, and Luke's got there as well. He's just as quick now. So, you know, it's a shame Luke didn't find some pace early on. I think it'd have been a lot harder in general. But, you know, if he comes back and carries that form, he'll be one to watch for next season, definitely.
Well, I can safely tell you now, Luke has already signed up. He literally signed up when he went live. So, you know, Luke's already coming back. John's coming back as well. I believe Bailiff and Ridley are coming back as well. But the question, I suppose, are we going to see Adam Dalmont next season?
It's a strong possibility, mate. It's definitely a strong possibility. I have been talking, to be fair, I've actually really enjoyed the GT3 this week at Bathurst, and I'm looking at doing a lot of the iRacing endurances this year, because I used to do them a lot, and just something I've fallen out of with just league racing. So, and it don't give me a lot of time for official stuff, because I do, Monday Clio, Tuesday TCR, Friday TCR, Thursday night's practice. It doesn't really leave much other room for anything else, really. But I want to keep at least 1 or 2 leagues going to make sure that it keeps me on my rig. You know, if you cut everything out, there's a risk that you can kind of let it collect dust for a little while, and then it's motivating yourself to get back on it. So, yeah, I mean, I think I want to, if I continue to run leagues, mate, it's going to be Clio and TCR, I think. But yeah, there's a strong possibility I'll be signing up, mate. Definitely, if Luke's on, that's all a good start. I want to see what Dan and them lot are doing as well, see if they potentially might be up for some Clios or at least some SRL or next gen lads.
Yeah, I can tell you, Dan, I don't think Dan's taking part.
Yeah, I don't think Dan's going to do it.
But there is obviously new people coming in as well. I know Sam Van Ulster's looking to come back as well, so that should be an interesting one. But yeah, I think overall it should be an interesting season next season as well. Adam, pleasure as always there. Congratulations on your championship there, dear sir. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, you guys for obviously making it, you know, the season and the league. Otherwise, you wouldn't have one to compete in. The drivers for turning up, because without them, there's nobody to compete against. And you know, the SRL team, next gen teams, and all their associated sponsors. Yeah, thank you to all those.
Awesome stuff. Well, Adam, thank you so much, buddy. And we look forward to hopefully seeing you on track next season.
You probably will, mate. No doubt. I'll keep an eye on it.
Take care, buddy.
Good night, buddy.
Right, next up, I'm going to bring in one Mr. Paul Godden, who, by my calculations, with his haul of points he's got here this evening, he's another one that has walked away with 3 podiums, and I've got a funny feeling he may also be the champion, but we will wait for confirmation. Paul, welcome in here, man. How are ya?
Good evening, James. You're really good.
How's it going?
Yeah, good. Yeah, I enjoyed that race evening tonight. It was mainly trying to stay clean and get as many points as I can, and finish off the season with some really great racing. And I think we accomplished everything I set out for tonight. So we had, Wayne had some really good pace, which I couldn't get anywhere near, and I had some of the best racing I've had all season with Edward and Chris in the race 3 at the back. I don't think I fought so hard with them. They were one way than the other, and they were not wanting me to go past easy, so I had to work for it. And then I haven't watched it back yet, but I clipped Chris come across the front of me, and I turned him slightly, and I tried to let him go, but he was also trying to let me go because he thought he was in the wrong, and we both just stopped, and I saw Daniel heading off in the distance, so I was like, I better get on with it, and then just went in, got my head down, but I was being too nice.
Gentlemen's racing in the Clios as well there. You have had 3 podiums out of 3, a win and 2 thirds here. We'll wait for the official results to come out, but I think you pretty much are in that championship spot as well. How's the season been, though, as well? Because we've come to the end of a 10-week race, 10-week calendar. You know, how's it been for you?
Yeah, it's been up and down. So the first half of the season was really good. I had some really good pace, had some amazing battles all season as well. With, I think, everyone on the grid. It's every week it's been someone different you were in a similar kind of pace with. And in the second half of the season, hasn't been as good for me, and I've just managed to just be in the right place on the reverse grids to, I think, get some points to still stay up there. And I don't know if I've got the championship or not. I'll be close with Daniel, I think. But if not, I'm not too fussed either way because I've had some amazing battles with Daniel all season, and it's been just a really enjoyable championship to be part of. So it's some great tracks, some tracks I haven't been to for a very long time. Like this one, the last time I drove around here, I think was in Gran Turismo. So
Oh, blimey.
it's a long time ago. But I'd done a lot of laps around there in Gran Turismo, so it was all right. But it was but I just couldn't get a car to do what I wanted to the second half of the season, and I don't know if it's that I didn't put any more practice in the beginning of the season than the end. It's just maybe the tracks, because they're a bit more unusual ones to what I've been on before, they just didn't really click with me the same as they did at the beginning. But all the race threes I think have been great. I've managed to keep out of trouble most of the time, which is the main thing. I'd rather finish lower down the pack and have a great clean race than be at the front because I've taken 2 or 3 people out by doing something stupid. So yeah, and it was a shame I sat in the pits in one of the races in the middle of the championship because I lost like 14, 15 points because I forgot that we had the 75% rule. And I was too busy watching the replay and got carried. And when I realised it was too late, I was like, there's no point going out because I haven't got enough time to finish it. But I got too involved in the replay, which I learnt, not to watch the replays till after the race evening and watch it back and then make the decision what happened then afterwards.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a very interesting next season as well with Alexa Brands, Atch Grand Prix, Sandown, Laguna, Silverstone National, Knock Hill, Watkins Glen Cup, Alton Park International, Snetterton 300, Long Beach and Summit Point. A very busy calendar there for next season, Paul, but I think we'll wait patiently for the results and see if you have wrapped up that championship there, buddy, as well. Anyone you want to shout out before I let you go?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out to from a teammate Wayne Palmer because he's been he had a bad start to the season, but he's had a really good end to the season. So and he's had some amazing pace, and yeah, he's been pushing me on to go quicker and quicker all season as well. And then lastly, to all the drivers that have stuck with it through the good days and the bad days, and managed to finish the season all off with everyone you chat to on here has had an amazing race. So it's been really good season, and hopefully I'll come back next season and do it all again because the calendar looks really good. So
yeah, it does, and you never know. Somewhere in there, if we can get it, we might have rain. That would be interesting as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah. If they bring that in and it works really well, that would be another element to the racing, which is going to be amazing to see, and hopefully they'll bring it to this car as well, so we can all have fun in the rain and have to have a bit of strategy as well. So I like a bit of strategic racing. So even in that one, I think race 2, I was trying to back the pack up into Daniel very carefully without doing anything stupid because he had about 2 tenths a lap faster than me. So put a bit of rain in the mix as well, and yeah, you're going to have some really good fireworks, hopefully. It should be some really good racing again.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Paul, thank you so much for joining us there, buddy. And well done, hopefully, on your championship. And hopefully we'll see you next season. But for now, mate, have a good one.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Thanks.
Right, next up on the list, we'll have a chat with Carl Jacklett, who, by his standards, has had a roller coaster evening of racing. Carl, welcome in there, buddy. It's been up and down. You've had more ups and downs than Alton Towers, haven't you?
It's been a bit of a roller coaster ride, this one. Very, very happy with race 1. First lap was amazing. I thought I'd jumped the start. I sort of went, but then the light went green at the same time, so I aced that. But yeah, made a lovely first couple of corners, got myself up in 3rd and just stayed there. Race 2, I got a slowdown. I slightly overcut. So I had to bleed out, let Adam by, and yeah, it wasn't quite the same after that. But the pace was still there. I'd done quite a bit of work during the week on the setup to try and keep the tyres alive because this track absolutely eats them. And that last race, which I pushed all the way through after I had the repair, the last lap was a 1 minute 3.3, so it was only a few tenths off my best lap of the race. So the setup worked really, really well. I think that was quite evident in race 1, where I forget who was behind me now, was slowly catching me, and then they were falling away.
Yeah, it was. But it has been an up and down. It's been a great season for you. You've been Mr. Consistent all the way through as well. How's the season? If you could look back at this season, how would you say it's gone for you?
I think the season's gone really well. It would have gone a lot better if I was there at all the rounds. But the rounds I did, I was very happy with. Very happy indeed. I had some great scraps in that race too with John Bailiff. Especially going through the last turn. He was getting down the inside and I was getting back down the inside on the exit. It was great fun. Really good. Really enjoyed it tonight. Even though I got smacked in the last one, you know.
Hey,
it happens.
It happens. We've had some great door banging all the way through there as well. So it's been a pleasure to have you this season as well. Thank you so much for joining us. Anyone you want to shout out before I let you go?
Yeah, I'm going to give a shout out to yourself for putting them all together, because without you doing this, we wouldn't be doing this.
Thank you very much for that one. Carl, thank you so much, dear sir. It's a pleasure having you on track this season. Hopefully we'll see you again next season there, buddy. But for now, have a good one.
And you. Ciao, ciao.
Right, now let's bring in, I want to finish on that one. We're going to have a chat with the man from Down Under. Of course, he's in his part-time. He wrestles kangaroo, he fights kangaroos and wrestles crocodiles. But here he is wrestling the Clio here this evening as well. 1 win, 1 second, and 1 race that didn't go quite so well. Carl Ridley, welcome in, buddy. How are you?
Welcome, James. It's good to know that I don't have the worst mic in this chat.
What do you mean?
You sound a bit more raspy than usual.
Oh, mate, that could be just the fact that I've had to carry Zach all evening, so I've had to do most of the talking.
Whoa.
No, wrestling the Clio is definitely one way to say what I did today.
Yeah, you definitely did that, buddy. But overall, how was it?
It was good. Kind of, like I said, wrestled a win, defended as hard as legally could. Tried again in race 3, couldn't quite get the win, but I got a win on the last round. And I think we've just missed out on the constructors, me and John, that is. But we really expected that coming into the round, because Maxwell and Hutchinson were they've really got the speed throughout the season, and with the lesser number of cars and whatnot, it just made it a little easier for them to just gather the points and get what they need to do. But that P2 in the points, I know we've had a lot of things go around along the season, but I've stuck it out, got the P2. So, I can't really complain. I'm just happy the season is over, and now I can have a lay-in on Tuesday mornings.
Happy the season's over?
Oh, it's a long season. 10 weeks in a row, getting up early.
It is. I do give you that as well. We are back next season then, mate. Start again on March 18th as well, with another 10-round calendar here as well. What do we think? Are we going to see Carl Ridley on track next season?
I'm thinking of missing it. I will admit, though, the calendar does look quite nice. There's a lot of good tracks in it. But I'm thinking of missing it. Some of my buddies might be joining, so I might watch for them. But as for myself, I will be missing it.
Heartbroken.
Bit like season 2.
Heartbroken. He comes in for a season, he disappears, he comes back and he disappears again. He's like Houdini in a box, is Mr. Carl Ridley.
Who knows, I might be back for season 6.
Maybe, no, yeah, maybe. But there you go, mate. Have a good one. Thank you so much for joining us. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
I just want to thank yourself and Zach for the commentary, all the people who help with the admin side. It takes a lot to get these things together, so big thanks to them all.
Thank you very much, buddy. Take care. And I'm sure we'll have a chat soon at some point.
Cheers, James. Bye.
Bye. Right, and the final interview here as well. We can have a chat with a man that's got faster and faster as the season goes on. Does he regret not getting up to speed right at the beginning, though? Well, we're going to find out. Let's have a chat with Luke Maxwell. Luke, welcome in, buddy. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Yes, you?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. I've sat and watched some great racing, I do love this circuit. I know people don't, but I think Tsukuba is amazing with small cars.
It's a good track, to be fair. I think did a bit of practice at the weekend and thought, I think, I didn't really have a clue as to where I was pace-wise, but obviously in practice tonight it was showing quite well. So I thought, I must be doing all right here, must be doing the right things, taking the right lines, and it definitely paid off race one, for sure.
What happened after that, mate? It was a bit of a topsy-turvy race 2 and 3, wasn't it?
Yeah, I felt like I could have got the win in race 2 after John and Carl came together, and then obviously Carl swung out to take the corner, bit of net code, and took me out really. So he's defended hard. To be fair, there was no contact, so it is what it is. It's close racing as we do in the Clios. I just got a bit unlucky, I think, there, and then I just couldn't really, obviously not enough time left to try and get past John and Adam battling. So I was a bit stuck there at that point. But I did quite fancy a one race win in 1 and 2 after I'd kind of got past John, but just didn't work out that one. And then the last race, unfortunately, just got caught out a bit with I think Paul had eased off to take it easy, and I moved left to go past him, took out Carl. So apologies to Carl for that one. And then my car was just damaged then, so it was just a case of trying to. John got past me, and I thought, well, if I sit in the tow, see if I can keep up with John as he gains on the top of the group. But I just didn't have the straight line speed, to be honest. I think I was about 3 or 4 tenths down, if not more.
Yeah, but it's been an interesting season, hasn't it? When we first come in, when we first saw you on track, it was all very tentative. We didn't really see the door banging contact. Obviously, coming from an SR10 that's like cardboard, you didn't really want to hit anything in that. Now you come into the Clios that you can ding-dong a little bit here. Have you enjoyed it more and more, knowing that you can get close and knock doors and that you couldn't do before?
I think I'm definitely getting a feel for the car, and how to make the car, I suppose, relatively fast. And then it's a case of I still brick myself when I'm starting 10th, and there's all these guys in front of me. I'm like, where do I go from here? Because you try and it's a bit of luck, right? And you pick a side that you think, I'll go around this side, and then someone's going a bit slowly, or someone else has had an incident in front of you, and it's really hard to keep. Obviously, it's not all down to luck, is it? Because Adam's doing it fairly consistently week in, week out. So I've just got to try and work out how to make the moves, keep it close without doing any damage, I suppose.
Yeah, we've seen you obviously sign up for next season already there, bud. Has it been obviously a season that you've enjoyed now you've been in? Because this is your first complete season, isn't it? I think you joined towards the end of season 3, didn't you? Yeah,
as I bought the Clio on the day of the first race, so that was my intro to the Clios. And the more I drive it, the more I'm enjoying it, especially the races. It's not so much fun to practice on your own and just do some hot lapping. You do about half hour and you think that'll do.
That'll do.
But the races are brilliant fun. And the bigger the field, the more fun it is. Obviously you need a few of the quick guys up there, and a good mixture of skills, and everyone's seems fairly committed to the league. So definitely going to do another season. Yeah,
and are we going to see the Scotsman alongside you once more?
I would expect so. Yes, yeah.
It'll be all right. Just give him a kick. He'll be fine. You know what I mean? It'll be no problem there. Luke, it's been a pleasure talking to you, as it always is, buddy. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Gonna give a shout out to Carl for bumping him off in the third race. Yeah, sorry, Carl.
Well, there you go. Apologies for bumping you up, but I'll give you a shout out. So there we go. Luke, it's been a pleasure, mate. Look forward to having a chat with you once more on Thursday, buddy, no doubt.
Yeah, cheers, boys. All the best.
Take care.
Bye.
Well, there you go, Zach. I think we can safely say a very interesting evening of racing. To be fair, that didn't actually turn out too bad.
No, I really didn't. Really enjoyed this evening. I think definitely did the season justice. And what a season we did have. Very deserving champions, and a battle that spanned, the best part of about 3 months or so, all the way back into Lagos. We've battled our way around the world. We ended it here at, probably the most anticipated circuit, the most anticipated circuit of the season. No, I wouldn't go as far as to say the best, but definitely up there. And looking forward to seeing what next season brings. Let's smash it.
Mm.
Are you salty because I didn't say it's the best?
Yes, But we'll talk about it later. But there we go, guys. That's going to bring the end of season 4. And I think you can safely admit it's been another successful season. It's been that good. We are doing season 5. So, Mr. Gary Walsh, if you are here and fancy coming along, head over to jpbbroadcasting.com/JPB Clios. And you can come and get yourself involved in season 5 if you want to. So, thank you so much to all the people that has supported this season. It's been an absolute pleasure having you in YouTube chat. Look forward to seeing Joseph Emmett Racing on track next season as well, as he signed up through the broadcast. So that should be a good one here as well. But for now, guys, that's going to round it off. I've been James Parfitt. I've been alongside Mr. Zach Sweeney, which has been an absolute pleasure for the whole entire season. And I'm sure we'll be back together next season. But for now, guys, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track next season. Good night.